Well, July 23rd came and went, and we finally got to see some gameplay footage of Halo Infinite. We definitely saw some good things, but we also saw a lot of not so good things. Let's break it down and go over everything that happened in this trailer.
Am I dead already? I must be. I mean, this is a punishment, right? Yep, this is death. No! No! No, 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 no! This isn't happening. I'm going to have to make an emergency landing. Hold on, shit.
So far, there's not much to really say. It's a pretty standard cinematic intro, and up until this point is pretty good in my opinion.
No! No! You! I can't stand this! Who you are?
Breathe.
No! You don't get to tell me what to do. You don't get to tell me anything. We're... Are you even listening?
I count 3 anti-aircraft cannons.
3 what?
You'll be safe here.
Oh, I'll be safe. Safe? I haven't been safe since I found you. I found you, remember? You were out there on your own, and you'd still be out there if it wasn't for me.
This is the first point in the trailer that I take some issue with. Brohammer, as the Halo community has nicknamed this character, becomes angry with the Master Chief for something that wasn't his fault. In a way, it's understandable. He's been adrift at space for months, and hasn't seen his family in who knows how long. But, having played the previous games, especially the Bungie titles, this still makes very little sense. He's a soldier of the UNSC, and while it may be true that he's just a pilot who never signed up for this type of mission, a UNSC soldier never questions orders and never doubts his commanding officers, especially when humanity is at stake, save for very special circumstances. The Master Chief is a living legend in the Halo universe, and most soldiers would be caught dead before disrespecting him, likely even after Oni's attempt to defame him in the events leading up to Halo 5. So for a UNSC soldier to question his directive from someone as important as the Master Chief, it's insubordination at best and an act of treachery at worst. Maybe I'm just nitpicking and this is one of the weaker points in the video, but this scene really bothered me when I first saw it.
I thought I was going home.
There won't be a home if we don't stop the Banished.
You keep saying that. We're outgunned, outnumbered.
This seems like a dumb thing to say to the Master Chief, who practically single-handedly defeated the Covenant on Installation 04 and played a major role in ending the Human Covenant War.
I know I saw Condors over there. I'm going to dig through them and find one with the working sleep space drive. And when you're done with this war, we'll get away from here. Far away.
Wait here.
Oh, please. Let me see what I can find.
Cannons first. When I get back, we can look. Together.
I was never really a fan of Halo 4 or 343's attempt to humanize Chief, but I honestly really appreciate the empathy John conveys in this scene in particular. As far as the games are concerned, this scene and the one at the end of Halo 4 with Cortana's death are really the only ones I think were done well and didn't feel forced.
Okay, big guy.
So now we finally get to the gameplay, and to be honest, I really like the design of the assault rifle. It's interesting that the ammo count on the indicator shows 36 because it more than likely means it's either the MA5D from Halo 5 with a new design, or a different variant of the gun altogether. Okay, so there's a lot to discuss here. There's one thing I don't like about this, and that's the hit indicator. I really can't stand the Call of Duty like X when you kill something, nor do I like the little lines that expand outward from the reticle when you land a successful hit on a target. These are complaints I had with Halo 4 and 5, and the return in Infinite is less than welcome. There are a few things I do like, however, but two of them are things that shouldn't have been removed from Halo in the first place. The classic grunt design, though I didn't really mind 343's design too much, and blood. I never thought I'd be so glad to see blood in a Halo game. This definitely means an M for Mature rating is guaranteed. The third thing I liked was the HUD when the shields recharged. I loved everything about it, from the hexagons in front of the screen to the way the shield indicator slid back to full on the right. I also like that there's a smaller shield indicator underneath the main one to indicate damage taken when your shields inevitably go down. And finally, weapon sounds. The assault rifle sounded very beefy. I assume a 7.62 AK variant was sampled for it. And I didn't mind the plasma pistol sounds, but I'm more or less indifferent to the noise it makes. Sprint. We all knew it was coming, but that doesn't mean I hate it any less. This is my least favorite Warthog design and sound to date. I don't care that it's open world, I just want the campaign to be good. The elites look and behave more like classic elites, so another thing that I like. I just noticed this now, but it looks like ADS is interrupted when you get shot, which is another thing that they're bringing back towards classic Halo, but honestly I don't really have a preference on this one either. Now this is something that I think is really cool. It appears that if you shoot enemies in the legs, you can trip them up, and that's a mechanic that not many video games have. If this is the case, then I am very glad 343 decided to include it. I know that this has become a meme now, but I really don't mind that it's in this much of an unfinished state. There's a lot going on in the world, and Microsoft made the same argument where they've had to kind of have those restrictions because of the current world event going on. So I'm just going to leave it at that, and hopefully it looks a lot more finished by the time it releases. It looks like 343 has gone the Halo 3 route and replaced armor abilities with throwables, which is a vast improvement over Halo 4 and 5 in my opinion. Now this is one of my two least favorite parts of this entire trailer, the grappling hook. I don't know why they decided to include this when everyone was asking for a classic Halo experience, and instead they decided to borrow from yet another franchise, Titanfall.
This is the end.
We were all prepared for Sprint in Halo Infinite, but I don't think anyone was expecting clambering to make a return because it wasn't that good in Halo 5 and it was very hard to make multiplayer maps around it. I really like the weapon variety in this trailer, but they included a lot of burst weapons. It seems like they're taking a cue from the Halo Reach Evolved mod for some reason. Picking up fusion coils and then throwing them is something that I'm not really sure if I like or not. I'm just gonna say that I'm indifferent to this one as well. This entire next gameplay segment looks like Doom, and I don't like that. And so there you have it. The rest of the trailer is just a cutscene and it looks fine. I don't really have an issue with it. I was not expecting this video to be as long as it is, but I'm glad that I made it because when I first saw the trailer, my first impressions were not good and I didn't think that it would be a good Halo game. But now that I can look back at it and take everything apart segment by segment, I can actually see that 343 has done a really good job of pandering to both old fans and new fans. And I think that it's pretty much in the best state that it can be, save for the grappling hook that I can't stand and clambering, which does not belong in Halo at all. But everything else is pretty good.